Right? Check this once. Not coming right. गुड इवनिंग, नमस्कार। आज हम एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक पे बात करने जा रहे हैं, स्पिरिचुअल एजुकेशन फॉर चिल्ड्रन। अभी तक हम बात करते आए हैं बच्चों के एकेडमिक परफॉर्मेंस के बारे में कि कैसा बच्चों का परफॉर्मेंस होना चाहिए। इट शुड बी गुड ग्रेड्स, गुड रिजल्ट्स, मार्क्स। बट व्हाट वी आर मिसिंग इज दैट स्पिरिचुअल एजुकेशन is very important in the upbringing of the children. Spiritual education is not a distinct and separate discipline. It is a part and parcel of the process of learning in the students. In fact, it is the very foundation on which the lasting edifice can be built. Spirituality is a broad concept. It's a very broad concept with room for many perspectives. In general, it includes a sense of connection to something bigger and more meaningful for ourselves. And it typically involves search for meaning of our life. So today when we teach, today's children are thinking children. So they cannot be into rote learning completely. They need to understand what they are doing, how they are doing, and when they are doing. So spiritual development is the ongoing process which I feel that engines and propels the search for connectedness, for purpose, meaning in life, contribution. Now the question is, why do we need spiritual education or spiritual development of students? We have seen that students in the last 10-15 years, it has been proven that people who are spiritually sound, they flourish better, they flourish more in life, they flourish faster. Spirituality is linked to many important aspects of human behavior. For example, spiritual people have better friendships, better relationships, higher self-esteem, more optimistic view of life, they follow a stronger purpose of life. Students who are spiritually inclined can deal with life and the situations that life has to offer beautifully. So, do you think we should be having spirituality in our education system? What is spirituality? It is the holistic development of the children. CBSE emphasizes on the holistic development of the children in totality. So what happens is, now CBSE has taken out the art integrated projects. There's a manual from CBSE which is on art integration. There's another manual from CBSE which is on the alternative academic calendar for all classes. So what does it include? It is nothing else but life skills. The value system that has to be imparted to the children by the way of experiential learning. CBSE is emphasizing on the learning outcomes that are there for every topic, because it should not be just rote learning. It has to be something where, children get the right essence of what they are learning from that particular topic. When we speak of spiritual education, I don't mean of any religious kind of education. What I mean is to help children understand that they are going to be a lot happier if they are kind to others and if they work for higher ideals. Values, higher ideals, values. The child who is kind to others and who has empathy for others will always grow better in life. For example, there's a child who has 4 mangoes and he eats all of them by himself. Isn't he more happier, or the one who shares it with the other 2 or 3 friends of his? Obviously the one who shares, because sharing in itself is a very good feeling. So that's how it is. Children who are selfish aren't happy, and those who are selfless are happy. And when they are happy, they spread happiness around themselves, they bring in positivity, they are able to do productive work in school as well as back home. They can apply their understanding not only at school but everywhere else in life. If we can bring this kind of teaching in our classrooms, believe me, it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time for all our children. Because when they move high in their life, when they grow up, when the children grow up, they have to face all kinds of situations. There'll be good, bad, ugly situations. And a child who's spiritually inclined, who has the values that have been imparted to him when the spiritual development or the value education of the child was going on well in the classrooms, that child will be able to deal with situations in a much better manner. Spirituality means a lot. The purpose of spiritual education is also to fulfill the divine potential of children. It is an interesting fact that people who write, as an example of a mental activity, will very often also do something physical to keep themselves grounded, because the development of the child has to be not only mentally done, it has to be emotionally there, physically there, spiritually there, because a full grown human being is one where a child is one where the mind, body and soul, they are all balanced. In the education of our children, we need to help them develop their character and their minds, but we must also help them prepare for living successfully in this world. We don't want them to go into society and find themselves incapable of relating to what's going on. They should be able to understand what is happening. They have to understand all the facts. They need to understand that if they are humble, they are gracious, they are kind, the world is in their feet. Everybody is going to be there for them. We can point to examples of people who live that way, who are able to handle lives much better in many challenges when they are spiritually developed. I have observed that people who are complete as human beings are generally more successful. And how are they complete? When their body, mind and soul is aligned. And how is the soul aligned? The body is aligned because the children are into physical exercise. Mind is aligned because children are going to be studying, they are using their mental capabilities. Emotionally, the parents take care of everything. What about the soul? How will that happen? That's going to happen only and only once children have been taught this realistic development, which is the spiritual development in the course of time. Children are born with different inclinations. All children are different. We cannot, go with the assembly line of teaching for children. Assembly line, by assembly line mean the factory kind of working where, everybody is served the same on the same platform, on one platform. It is not possible with children. Children are different. Everybody has a different characteristic. Then these children, everybody has the different likes, dislikes. All these things are there. So they have to be dealt with very carefully, separately, with a lot of love, affection, care. So somebody who's very good at painting might not be good at oration. There is another child who's very good with her science but is not good with her vocabulary. That's perfectly fine. And we need to deal with them that way. So in today's time, we need to have a smaller group of children in every classroom, and we need to have the mentor-mentee concept with them, where the teacher is going to be there, intellectual as well as the spiritual guide, telling them how to go about things. Then one of the unfortunate aspects of modern education I've already told you about, where if we have small classes, it will be better. Otherwise, what we are doing is 60 children in one class. We are unable to deal with any child. We are living in a global world. We usually have several email accounts, and children are all the time busy with the gadgets. Gadgets meaning their phones, their laptops, and with this online education coming in during this pandemic, it's more of a lot of mental stress on the children. Physically, they are inactive because they're not supposed to leave home. So it is more so important today that we talk about the value system, we talk about spiritualism, we talk about their inner growth. There are many philosophies have suggested that you're supposed to take at least one day rest for all the work that you have been doing all through the week. But if a child is spiritually developed, believe me, the child will be able to grasp more from the online sessions that are happening, the webinars that are being conducted, and all the stuff that the children are attending. Eventually, when there is no balance of rest and the hectic schedule that the children are going through, then what happens is children crash. Spiritual development anyway has been made a part of compulsory part of teaching by CBSE. All those who are seeing, I would urge everybody to open the art integration projects, the manual that has been taken out by CBSE. Then there's another beautiful manual that CBSE has worked upon, that is the 21st century life skills for teachers, for students. It's very important that all of us go through all these manuals and we actually do things with the children. Now this art integrated projects that has come out from CBSE, it suggests that a lot of activities are supposed to be done by the parents with the children back home, because see, online classes, teachers are there only for an hour or 2 hours with the children, but the rest of the 22 hours the child is back home with the parent. So the parent is the first teacher for the child. So the parents will have to do this with their children, making them grow positively in life. If any questions, you are free to please post them. Now, we all know there is a higher power. This corona has made us all believe that there is a higher power where all the things are not under our control. A higher power is not going to just magically come down and give us the behaviors that match our words. We have to convert them into actions. Give yourself the opportunity to build your experiences, create your spiritual awareness. And how does it come? There are certain magic words which need to be developed amongst children. Some of these I am just mentioning: generosity, understanding, empathy, honesty, optimism, contentment, kindness, humility, wisdom, harmony, tolerance, forgiveness, love, care, hope. Then they should be meditating, they should be talking mindfully. There has to be mindfulness when the children are speaking. They should think before they speak. There's strength, nurturing, responsibility, compassion. Then you have truthfulness, you have patience, imagination, inner peace. There are loads. All this is included in spiritual development. So it is very easy for any teacher to create a platform where when you're teaching, you are imbibing at least one of these attributes in your lesson plan. A spiritual life is all inclusive and allows respect of all others to live their life on an equal basis. If you need prayer, it is not withheld because you look different or worship differently. But when you are spiritually inclined, it removes all the barriers of prayer, to a particular God. We are praying to the higher power then. Because we all know God is one. And everybody prays to that same God. We no longer are affected or influenced by the judgment of others then. We understand that others or their beliefs do not define our self-worth, because as individuals, we alone hold the responsibility of who we are. That's how it is. It is important to respect that there is no right or wrong in anything in life. Everything is right and everything is wrong. It depends on your perspective, how you see things. but we need to respect the other person's opinion. Respect leads to successfully coming together with temperament, thus permitting a civilization that can achieve a common goal. And what is our common goal? That our children are educated, they are well versed with the life skills, they can present themselves well in the world outside. Once they grow up, they can earn for themselves, fend for their families, take care of their families. I think that's all that is required. And that can happen only if the children have that kindness within them, the love within them, the care within them. That's how it is. Let's say you're making a batch of cookies, right? Now, if you're making those cookies, you have put in all the ingredients, like in a classroom, you have the lesson plan, you have the assessment sheet, you have the blackboard, you have discipline in the class, you have everything, But then the cookies don't have sugar. We don't have sugar as the main ingredient in the cookies because we are devoid of them. How is it going to be happening then? Will the cookies be nice? Will you like them? I'm sure we are not going to like them. They are going to be bland. So same goes for education. If we are not putting in these values in the children per se, so how do we, make it beautiful for them? How do we make it a lifelong learning for them? To make it lifelong learning for the children, we need to put the values that we should be doing. See, with this time that we are facing, there were times when, our parents, our grandparents, everybody was living with us. We had a joint family. So whatever time was not there with the parents was always given by the grandparents. They used to take care of things. But now what happens is, it's nuclear families. It's only the teachers and the parents who have to be imparting these values and this spiritual aspect in the children. So we as a community have to work hand in hand so that there is the perfect and wholesome growth of our children. Now, the teachers, what can the teachers do? Teachers can provide experiences of awe for their students through art, through music, nature, or studying great people. That will help children to think, to see a larger picture of life and think better about themselves. Teachers can also show them, these pro-social skills like gratitude, compassion, empathy, mindfulness, and helping each other to create positive relationships. Now, the teachers can also relate the content of their classes to students' lives. Live lessons are always very good, and who take the time to get to know and cultivate the students' interests and passions. The teachers who take time to cultivate the students' interests and passions are always going to be very successful, and believe me, their children are going to become very strong and beautiful citizens of tomorrow. Because then the children already have the meaning and purpose of life. It is very important that they have it because children are very smart. Today's children are digital children. And everything is available just on one click on Google. But then what is available on Google is only what some gyan has been given by one of us. But what the teacher can give or the parent can give is, after knowing the child one-to-one, is going to be making the difference in the child's life. Because every child cannot be, again, judged on the same parameters. Google is going to be bringing up some gyan about, say, how to deal with a stressful situation. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks. You have the check boxes, you tick them. If they tick, it's good. If it doesn't tick, okay, fine, we search something else. But when the teacher deals with this, then what happens? When the teacher deals with this, teacher goes to the background of the child, from where the child is coming. What is the relationship of the child with the parents? What is the relationship of the child with the peers, with the other fellow teachers? How is the child's behavior in the school? How is the child academically placed? How is the child co-scholastically placed? So the teacher is going to take all this into consideration and then guide the child. And I think that's going to be the best guidance that can be possible for the child. So anyway, the teachers and parents should always work hand in hand for this. Now, the teacher will help the child incorporate service learning into his curriculum by providing opportunities for social service and to make a worthwhile contribution to the society, so that they learn how to be empathetic and how to have compassion for everybody around them. This is a very important aspect in today's time. We are seeing what is happening in US. We are seeing what is happening in all these so-called developed countries. During this corona, people are entering into shops, they are looting the shops, then they are entering people's houses and stealing stuff. But those children, like, it's not everybody, because those who have been brought up beautifully with these value system and their spiritual development has been perfect, those will never do. They will stay hungry, but they will never steal. They will never harm anybody. And the society survives on this. The society just survives on this, nothing else. You know? Now, how to promote spirituality in students once again. Like, first thing all of our teachers need to do is discover the strengths in every child. We have to tell the children to discover their strengths, you know. And we have to make a checkbox for the strength finder in our children. Every teacher will have to do this activity of self-reflection with each and every child, so that the children understand what are their strengths, and then so on and so forth, the teacher and the parents, they discuss and they work upon it, because this is going to be the strength for the lifetime of the child. Second, they need to also, like, there's another, I have just picked up a few points, you know, because I was given a lot of topics, but then I was like, this was a topic very close to my heart, because I would like to do something for the children in this field. So the second thing that came to my mind is they need to find out what gives them happiness. Find what is their center, you know, where they feel most grounded and calm. What kind of career that then it will be very easy for them to decide what career they want to pick up, you know. There is a child, I was in grade 10, and at that time we used to have the frogs for our practicals, you know. So I could not even touch them, you know, do anything else. I knew because I couldn't harm a living being. So I knew that was not my stream. So I left that and I took up commerce. So all these things when we do, it helps. The third point that I have listed is get back to your roots. For some people, a good starting point is family origin or inherited religion that they have. It's important to determine if you still connect to all that in a meaningful way. You can also explore other options and traditions that speak of your belief and your practices that you want to follow and you want to inherit in life. The fourth point that I have selected where teachers can work with their children is work with mentors. If you need help on your journey, a school's spiritual life group can help. We need teachers, we need counselors, we need the principal, the vice principal, the headmistress. Everyone has to mentor the children. They need to be a listener. They need to not judge the child. They don't need to listen to speak. We need to let the child speak his or her mind out. And then we guide them as and what fits into their life. Sharing motivational stories with them. So there are the 4 points that I've thought of are, the first one is discovering their strengths. Second is what is their center, what makes them happy, getting back to their roots. Fourth is working with mentors, because again I said I do not believe in this Google theology. It is about the human touch. Then the fifth one is practice mindfulness, being fully present in the moment. You know, that could spill over into your class and your health. Everybody should understand that right now I'm present in my class and this is what I have to do. The activity that the teacher is taking up. Then it's about my health. What is required for my health right now? What is required for my overall happiness? What is going to be good for me with my relation with my parent, with my teacher, with my peer, with everybody. So practice mindfulness is my fifth take on spiritual development of children in school. Then spirituality can be a very wide concept and very deep. So here again I come to it. Instead of jumping onto the latest trends on social media, take help from teachers, counselors, parents. Consult a trusted guide who will listen to what's going on in your mind and in your life, and to make you feel good for your personality. Because every child is special. You have a beautiful personality, you just have to nurture it, bachas. No? We don't have to be an edited clip of somebody else that you've seen on the social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on the WhatsApp profile, on Snapchat. You have to be your individual self. Then the seventh point that I have picked up for the teachers and the children is connect with others. Finding your faith is very personal journey, we all know. As humans, we have, instinct of connecting with others. So whenever we meet people, we pick up the best from them. The benefits of wisdom, insight, encouragement, support. We just, somebody just mentioned, ma'am, people are saying that commerce is not good for computer. Commerce is very good for computer. Commerce is good for anything. It helps, all these things. For example, when we come back to the seventh point, connecting with others, it helps develop empathy and a wider perspective that could lead into service, which is a very important component of all of spirituality. Serving people, being good to them. It's a very, very important thing. We cannot be, just working upon ourselves. We need to be good to everybody around us. We need to help everyone. We have 10 rupees. Somebody wants a help for 2 rupees, we should be. And if we cannot help monetarily, we have our hands, legs, a mind, a heart. We can work anyway. Now, then the last point that I have taken out, dive deeper into a specific tradition. Now, if something interests you, please attend sessions on that. Something that comes to your mind and you feel very good about listening to it, please go ahead and do that. Do not just hear it for once, do not follow it for once and leave it. Follow it up regularly. Because till you don't follow it up, it will not sink into your system. Because learning is never ending, very truthfully said. A crisis or harsh challenge can be a turning point where you're going to either close down or open up and come alive, We all know that. Spirituality is one way to help you stay centered, grounded, connected. It can serve as a core motivator for students and for each one of us. For each one of us. Anyway, we are just connected through our mobile phones now. Okay, fine, this is the corona period. Once this is over, let's, meet up. Let's talk to everybody. There's a lot that I can go on and on speaking about this topic, but then I will just conclude with these lines. When spirituality will be completely embraced by our education system, our students will not only make a living in this physical world, but also make a living of success and experience every moment of their life as a new day, a day of uplifting and blessing, and enjoy lasting peace in their lives and for everyone around them. I hope you enjoyed and we keep coming back again. Thank you.